Hey everyone, welcome to your AIS205 Revision Explainer. I am so excited to be your guide today. If you're looking to totally master accounting information systems, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're taking a really fun pastel-colored journey into Microsoft Excel. And, to make this super practical and honestly just way more fun, we aren't just going to stare at boring numbers. We're going to pretend we are running our very own campus bakery. So imagine the smell of fresh cupcakes and coffee. And now imagine having the absolute perfect digital system to track all those sweet profits. Let's jump right in. Here is our quick learning outline for today. We'll be hitting 1. Welcome to Microsoft Excel. 2. The Excel interface explained. 3. Data, formulas, and functions. 4. Mastering Excel cell referencing. 5. Visualizing with Excel charts. And finally, 6. Exam tips and final summary. All right, Section 1, welcome to Microsoft Excel, powering our campus bakery. Because when you're running a bustling campus bakery, you really need a reliable way to manage all that business data. So what actually is Excel? Well, at its core, Microsoft Excel is an electronic or computer spreadsheet program, and it's used to enter and organize data. It is literally the most used software program in business today just because it's so incredibly versatile. Think of it like a massive grid, just rows and columns where you can type in text, crunch your numbers, and instantly see the results of some pretty complex calculations. Now, picture this. If we were doing things the old-fashioned way for our bakery, we'd have this giant paper spreadsheet, right? A massive accounting page with endless columns and rows. We'd be sitting there, tallying up our daily chocolate muffin sales using a pencil and a calculator. And honestly, it's tedious. But with a computer spreadsheet, we get a similar structure, but it performs all those calculations automatically for financial applications. It takes the heavy lifting completely out of managing a business. Moving right along to Section 2, the Excel interface explained. Think of this as your digital bakery ledger. Get your notes ready because you'll definitely need to know your way around this screen for your exams. Okay, go ahead and draw a little star next to this part in your notes. This is what the main MS worksheet window actually looks like. Up at the very top left, you've got your Office button and your Quick Access toolbar. Right below that is the ribbon that houses all your command tabs and groups. And then way down at the bottom, you'll find your sheet tabs and the status bar. It might look like a whole lot of buttons at first glance, but everything is organized super logically to help you bake up some great data. Now, there are a few key interface components you absolutely need to memorize. You've got your column headers at the top, those use letters, and row headers on the side, which use numbers. But listen closely. Here is a super important term for your AIS205 quiz. The specific cell you are currently clicked into, the one you're working on, is called the active cell, and you can always see the exact address of this active cell right up there in the name box. Okay, Section 3, Data, Formulas, and Functions. The recipe for success. We know what the kitchen looks like. Now let's talk about the ingredients. Let's look at what actually goes inside those cells to calculate our profits. Here is a massive exam tip for you, so write this down. Data generally comes in two forms, text or values. Text refers to letters or words like typing vanilla cupcake, and Excel automatically aligns text to the left side of the cell. Values, on the other hand, can be numbers, formulas, or functions, and they automatically align to the right. Oh, fun fact, dates and times are also recognized as values. And actually, here's a little secret study hack. If you ever need a number to behave exactly like text, just type an apostrophe right before the number. It's a really neat trick. Now, to actually calculate our daily revenue, we need operators. These are your standard mathematical symbols. You've got the plus sign for addition, minus for subtraction, asterisk for multiplication, forward slash for division, and that little caret symbol for exponentiation. We also use logical operators, right? Like equals, less than, greater than, and so on. Those are absolutely perfect for comparing our daily sales against our weekly targets. And to make these calculations even faster, Excel has built-in functions, which are divided into a few key categories. You definitely want to know these for the exam. We have financial functions, things like DDB, IRR, NPV, PV, and SLN. We have date and time functions, mathematical and trigonometric functions like round and sum, and finally, statistical functions like average, max, and min. Having these built right in saves us from having to manually build every single complex calculation from scratch. Which brings us to Section 4, Mastering Excel Cell Referencing, the magic dollar sign. Okay, everyone, grab your favorite pastel highlighters. We are entering what is easily the most critical, and honestly, sometimes the most confusing, topic in the syllabus. Let's start with a practical scenario. Wait, what actually happens when we copy a formula to a brand new location? Say we have a column of, 50 different pastries, and we write a beautiful formula to apply a 10% student discount to the very first pastry. What happens when we copy and paste that exact formula all the way down the entire column? Well, by default, Excel uses something called relative cell referencing. This means when you copy a formula to a new location, the formula automatically adjusts using relative cell addresses. If your first formula pointed to cell A1 and you paste it one row down, Excel politely changes it to point to A2 for you. And usually that is exactly what we want. But what if our 10% discount rate is typed into one specific cell at the very top of our sheet, and we want every single pastry in that column to multiply by that one specific cell? We literally cannot have that address shifting on us. So the crucial point here is we use absolute cell referencing. This is any formula that contains cells in a specific address that should not change. And we tell Excel to do this by preceding the column and row references with a magic dollar sign. Let's look at this exact example straight from your study materials. Equals $E, $4 times B8. Here, the E4 cell is completely locked into place. That absolute reference will not move, no matter where you copy the formula on the sheet. Meanwhile, the B8 cell is still relative, so it will shift down row by row as you copy it down. Understanding this exact mix of locked and unlocked cells is the absolute key to acing your spreadsheet exams. All right, Section 5, Visualizing with Excel charts, seeing the sweet results. Once we have all our bakery data perfectly calculated and referenced, it's time for the fun part. Let's turn that raw data into something beautiful that actually makes an impact. Creating a chart is just a super simple two-step process. Step 1, highlight the range of data you want to show, and Step 2, click the Insert tab up on the ribbon and simply choose your chart from the chart command group. Whether you want a bar, pie, or line chart, boom. These charts visualize your data so you can instantly see, for example, which cupcake flavor is your absolute bestseller this week. And finally, Section 6, Exam Tips and Final Summary. We have covered so much fantastic ground today, and as your friendly digital lecturer, I want to make absolutely sure you walk into your AIS205 final feeling completely confident. So let's wrap this up. Here is your rapid-fire final revision checklist. Remember, Excel is a grid of rows and columns for managing data. Visually, text aligns to the left, while values, which includes dates and times, align to the right. Operators are your math symbols. Relative referencing adjusts automatically when copied, but if you need a cell to stay frozen in place, you use absolute referencing with that magic dollar sign. So I have to ask, are you ready to apply these Excel skills to ace your AIS 205 finals and maybe even run your own successful business? That wraps up our explainer for today. Remember, understanding accounting information systems isn't just about passing a test. It's about giving you the practical, real-world tools to organize data and find hidden business insights. So review your notes, practice that cell referencing, and ask yourself, once you've mastered these digital ledgers to run a wildly successful campus bakery, what's stopping you from using these exact same tools to build a global franchise? The numbers are literally in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy studying.